Hey guys, the Commander Casual here, doing a deck tech for my Atraxa Praetors Voice Exalted Voltron deck. So I know it's not a super typical build for Atraxa. That was kind of the point. Is I like to do a lot of, or at least what I think are unique decks. And I noticed that the main thing that sticks out to me about Atraxa is less the proliferate ability that everybody else seems to focus on, and more just the fact that she's in all the colors for Exalted, and she's quite the body for. Don't be gross. I mean, like her creature body is pretty strong for 4 mana. She's a 4/4 flyer, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink angel horror. And so when I saw it, I was just like, wow, that's a huge body. And I thought it was that much better that she's in all the Exalted colors. So typically all the Exalted colors were banned when the Exalted mechanic first came out, but then I think M13 did black and white Exalted as a deck archetype. So there's a couple black cards that have Exalted as well, like Nephrox and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I've got this amazing body to be my Exalted commander, and then we've got a bunch of Exalted colors cards in all those colors. So our Exalted cards are Crazen Squire, Duty Brown Dead, Knight of Glory, Paradigm to a Knight of Infamy, got a Kasali Pride Mage, Guardians of Atraxa, what else? Ardent Plea, Glintspire Avenger, we got an Angelic Benediction, Sublime Archangel, which is like the Exalted card, other than Rafik, obviously, Duskmantle Prowler, Rocks Charger, Rafik of the Many, who's the Mac Daddy of Exalted, and typically who you'll see as a general for an Exalted deck. Finest Hour, which is another really big one. Gives you an extra combat phase if you attack with just one card. Battle Grace Angel, Nephrox, Sovereigns of Lost Allura. I think that's all of them. Anyway, so played this deck a couple times. It's super fun. It gets out of the traditional Voltron thing a little bit in that it doesn't require. Like it sets up differently, which gives it kind of a unique feel. We obviously still have a bunch of Voltron stuff in here. I don't know if you can see this little chunk here. So on top of having all that Exalted based stuff, we've also got like a Champion's Helm, all the swords. So Sword of Body and Mind, Sword of Feast and Famine, Sword of Fire and Ice, Sword of Light and Shadow, Sword of Vengeance, which I know doesn't count as the swords, but it's a sword. Sword of War and Peace, Sword of the Animist, and then we've also got a Swiftfoot Boots and a Lightning Greaves. The nice thing about Lightning Greaves is you still benefit from the Exalted triggers, even if the card has Shroud. And then we've also got like Soul Ring, Everflowing Chalice. Really the only things that benefit in this deck from Atraxa's Proliferate are the Astral Cornucopia and the Everflowing Chalice, which you still actually get a fair amount of value out of. We've got some general function cards like Cultivate, Kanama's Reach, Beast Within, Rex Sage, Regrowth, Cyclonic Rift, Pure Steel Paladin, Stoneforge Mystic, stuff like that. Rishkar's Expertise, Baral's Expertise, Hour of Promise. Hour of Promise is mostly in here so that we can get up our Cathedral of War, because it just lets you search for lands. Cathedral of War is super awesome, and I forgot to mention it on the Exalted list, but it is a land with Exalted, which I just think is like one of the coolest things ever. Our mana base is pretty simple. We've got all the like triple lands that fit within these colors. We've also got a Command Tower and Exotic Orchard, a lot of basics, Rogue's Passage just to get in with some extra damage for the commander, and then all the temples in their colors as well because I really like the scrying, and then a Temple of the False God too. There's a bunch of kind of Exalted style support cards in here as well that don't actually like have Exalted, but they go along with the theme of just attacking with one creature a turn. So we've got Stoic Angel. Players can't attack more than one creature during their untap steps. Usually doesn't apply to us anyway because Atraxa has Vigilance. We've got Dueling Grounds, so no more than one creature can attack each combat, no more than one creature can block each combat. If you guys have seen Miri the Weatherlight Duelist, one of the new green-white legendaries from the newest Commander product, her ability is very much based off this, and I'll probably be replacing Dueling Grounds with Miri. Once the newest Commander product is released on MTGO sometime in November, although it is November, it hasn't been released yet. Also got like Daxos of Meletus, who just gets in pretty well and gains us some life, lets us play things off our opponent's library. What else? Silverblade Paladin can pair up with Atraxa or whoever's doing our attacking and give them double strike. Bastion Protector, It's just a really good card to have in any white commander deck. So it gives your commander +2/+2 and indestructible, which still goes with the theme. Then we've got a couple like auras and stuff like that so that we can search up some stuff with Sovereigns of Lost Alara. So we've got Bear Umbra, Snake Umbra, which both provide totem armor, which is really good. Rancor for some trample. And then, yeah, we've got the general function. So Clever Impersonator, Beast Within, Cyclonic Rift, all that stuff I mentioned before. Dune Blast as well is really fun for keeping just Atraxa alive and blowing everything else up. And then we've got some creature tutors and just a permanent tutor, because Wargate's amazing. But these are mostly just to tutor up like Rafik or like a Finest Hour for that like big finishing blow kind of turn. So you can Wargate up just about anything you need, and then you can Court of Calling or Greensun Zenith for Rafik, or like a Rocks Charger, or like if you need some removal, you can get your Rex Sage or Acidic Slime and stuff like that. Anyway, that's the deck, guys. It's a ton of fun. I know it's not the typical Atraxa, but that was kind of the point as well, because to play a little outside the norm, but with a really good and really fun card. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Have a good one.